Hello everyone, Prince Good here, and welcome back to Let's Play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Last time, we got both the ceremonial trident and the light scale trident, and now, after completing the quest associated with that, we're going to move on to, well, quite an annoying side quest. Alright, I got most of my information I need now, but before we go and do that, let's go ahead and handle another side quest here really quick. So if we keep running along this major cliff face here, I think this is what I need to do. Yes, perfectly. Just keep running along this cliff face here, and taking some sights. Keep right out for monuments, by the way, while you're doing this. But as you... Oop, I'm going to switch a weapon. Alright, that was in one of my chests. Oops. What do I want to use today? Let's use the silver longsword again. So I picked up a replacement from behind the one shrine. But if we keep running on this way, there we are. We are in the area that has the Hinox. Oh, it's a blue Hinox too. So like with all Hinoxes, I'm going to make a pin on the map. Just so if a blood moon occurs, I can come back, hopefully off camera, and research, take these guys on. Now you will see on one of his legs, let's see if I can't get a better vantage point and show you this with the camera. I'm going to take a picture of this just to be safe. That's a lovely view, by the way. Really brings out your eyes. Wrong eye. Oh, that's the button. If you'll see on his ankle there, he has a... basically a brace to stop him from getting his ankles chopped up. That can be solved very easily. And this will also help initiate the fight. Now I'm going to get this ready, but I'm also going to see, do we have any fire weapons? We do not. Actually, something else I could do. I could start off the fight this way. Where is my flint? Excellent. I had a brain fart. It's an idea, but something you could do to start off this fight is... Oh, pick that up. Dang it, now I'm going to get it out again. So what you can do to start off this fight is just slowly walk up to this guy. Just so you are stealthy. Because despite its own snoring noises, it does not hear you out, but go ahead. This is an experiment I'm running. I have never done this, but drop yourself some flint. And start the battle like normal. There you go. Start his ankle on fire. Anyway, going to be a little distressed for a minute while I puts out his fire. Wow, I did like no damage because of that ankle thing. Alright, here. Give me your big eye for a second. I'm too far away for this. Now, if you want to, you could actually steal weapons off of his neck thing there while he's sitting down on the ground like that. But I wouldn't recommend it right now. Oh boy, out of energy. This is a Hinox. Run between the legs! Hey you gonna cover your eye yet? Yes, you are. Gonna do the thing? And run between the legs. Now, something you want to do is, if you can, spin between... Oh god, this is gonna hurt. Whew. If you ever see him rev up like that, be prepared for him to try and sit on you. Oh, my longsword broke. That's fine. We'll use this low-level guardian sword to take him out. We kind of will. All right. Don't worry, I have a plan to finish him. It's called arrows. Yeah, he was weak enough where arrows would have just finished him at that point. But there you go. Another Hinox down. Ooh, and some teeth, and some roasted bass, and a broadsword, and a halberd, and some things that I can't carry. But yeah, we can actually just use up all this roasted stuff he just dropped. Heal up some health here. Go ahead and eat that last one. Just get full health off of him. But there you go. That's the Hinox handled. Now I think... Where are we roughly in correlation to what I need? Oh. Starting over there. Huh. Okay. Fair enough. Well, this might actually lead us to one of the Koroks I pointed out as we were walking overhead. But we're going to start doing these monoliths here quick and read them all. I don't know if we have to take pictures. And I'll double check my information to confirm this. But basically, right over in this area is or inside of this, basically bend in the road, is one of the first monuments is. So we're going to aim right about here and jump off. And this is basically at the start of the path. Oh boy. Yeah, right around here. Most of these are going to be... Oh wow, we aren't too far out from Zora's domain, actually, still. Yeah, right around here should be one of the glyphs. Let's see, where am I in correlation? I am nowhere near it. I am way off. I may have to cut while I get over there. Anyway, yeah. Movie magic time. If I have to cut, I'll be cutting. Otherwise, I'll see you in a second for that stuff. Actually, now we'll get it on the way back. We have to do a quest out here anyway with something, and that thing is actually down the river. So I will probably end up going down the river in order to do a certain side quest. But let's get this thing handled first. Nope, here's one over here. Just for reference sake on the map of where it is, here's where I am. So here's one of them as I go throughout my adventures. So I'm just going to read it quick. Just going to skip through the dialogue. This is one we actually saw on the way up already. And there we go. Now I really hope I don't need to, but I'm going to take a picture of these as well just to be on the safe side. I don't know what the game expects, but I'm taking pictures of them, I'm reading them, I'm doing everything with them just to be safe on what needs to be done. Anyway, cutting away once again. Alright, here's the first one I was after initially. This one, I think we've already read this one too. Now I think this one actually will tell you about Part 7, the hero who defeated the Lionel as told by King Dorephan. There was a time when the people of the land were threatened by the dread beast Lionel who lived on Ploymus Mountain. And if you want to play word puzzles, you can. But this is the main clue that tells about how you get the Zora helm that I've already shown you how to get. Time has taken its toll on this. Well, I will still take a picture of it to be safe. Anyway, let's move on and find more. There's always the one back in Zora's domain proper, but I'm gonna pull up my map and find more of these. Nope, actually, before I cut away... Whoop, actually, that was a big plunge. But before I cut away, I think... Can I stand here? No, I guess I can't. There's a treasure just sitting out here in the river that I'm going to get. I'm also going to get a key... well, not a key. A main Korok location that I'm aware of. That is pretty close to this... That is really close to where we are right now. But I'm basically going to be heading downriver to find this one here. Oh, come on now. That's got to be close enough. Dang it. Yeah, now I'm close enough. I hate these treasure chests sometimes. Anyway. I don't remember us ever seeing this, so let's go ahead and pop it open and see what's inside. A bow. Bow that I'm not going to use, but there you go. There's a bow. There's a phrenic bow for you if you need it. And now something I will mention is that if you're... at some point here, you will... Well, I'll be damned. If at some point here you need... you will need some bass for a future quest and upgrade. So the best way to get that without even draining out your stamina is actually to very carelessly float down this river, because there is a current heading downstream over there. So just carelessly float down that river. Anyway, this is the Korok I know about and how to get. So simply come up here, grab a rock, come over here, and right about Yeah, drop a rock, complete the circle. Oh, it's got a lily pad face. It's thematic. Later, dude. Alright, now let me get back on the case of that, of those monoliths. Okay, so I took advantage of teleporting for this one. You can teleport. Even though if you have beaten Varuta, you can still teleport near it. Just don't actually walk up to Varuta. But from here, you're aiming for a path just a little bit beaten off. Well, beaten off the beaten path from Varuta, and there it is. There is another thing for you to read here. History of the Zora, Part 5, The Sage Princess Ruto is told by King Dorephan. In a past more distant than even the great calamity or the creation of the divine beast Varuta, there was a Zora princess named Ruto. You know that she was an attendant to the Zora patron deity, and that she was a fair and lively girl, beloved to all. Around that same time, an evil man with designs of ruling the world appeared, bringing disaster upon Zora's domain. It is said that Ruto then awoke as a sage, facing this foe alongside the Princess of Hyrule and the hero of legend. Her ancients are remembered, not only by the Zora, or her achievements, while her ancients, that I totally messed that word up. They are also forever etched into the history of Hyrule. The divine beast Varuta, built ages later to face off against Calamity Dan, was named in honor of her. That the Zora princess, my sweet daughter Mipha, was chosen to pilot Ruta is surely the work of fate. And once again, I will take a picture just to make sure I do not screw anything up. And I'm off again to find more of these. All right, just for pinpoint sake, here's where I am on the overworld map. There is one of these monoliths right here. I believe we read this on the way up, but I think we got to read every single one of these to make sure we get the whole thing going. Are you? Can I interest you in a bowl of knock it off? Okay, sir, you're becoming a dick. Thank you. And now I will take I will take anything I can, and we'll read this again just to be sure, and take another picture of it. This one I'm pretty sure we read. Yeah, this one we have read before. No, we don't need bombs. We don't need the amiibo either. Hello, I might need to turn it off whenever I'm recording. That's gonna totally mess me up. Now, even though we have this here, I actually found another one on the way up that is just a little bit out of sight. If my thought process is correct, it should be right around here somewhere. Not too far from where we were, but I just gotta look. Yep, here it is, right here. Not too far from where we were. Another one. I think it's probably part 2. Part 2 of Reservoir of Hope is told by King Dorephan. Once every 10 years, the Lanayru region experiences unusually heavy rainfall. The Zora River flooded every time. The tides damaged not only our domain, but our people, washing away poor souls and causing great suffering and disarray. The Zora King of that time, after seeking aid from the King of Hyrule, rode out to see what could be done. By joining the archaeological genius of the Zora and Hyrule's technological prowess, each reservoir lake was swiftly built. Thanks to this fruitful partnership, Hyrule was no longer plagued by these devastating floods. In gratitude, the Zora King promised to the King of Hyrule to manage the reservoir level to protect all of Hyrule from floods. Each Zora King has kept this oath, spanning 10,000 years. That is why the reservoir signifies our bonds with Hyrule. And another picture. I probably don't need to take pictures of all this, but I'm being on the safe side. Anyway. Oh, hello. You are definitely a Korok. You aren't. Also, just across the way, there's some luminous stone here. I'm gonna mine it really quick, but I'll meet you at the next location. Oh, how do I mine this, though? Alright, so for reference sake, here's where I am. We're actually really close to that one Korok spot I showed you. Also, yes, I am using the infinite stamina thing off camera. Now you can either get there by going around this peninsula and then walking down the right side, or jumping off the bridge and gliding. Obviously, I have chosen the latter. Oh my gosh, there's so many crabs and hot-footed frogs out here. Give me the craft. Give me all this stuff. Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and read. The light scale trident. The queen and I were blessed with a daughter as lovely as a jewel. We named our princess Mifa. To celebrate her birth, the smithy Dento presented Mifa with a gift and a mighty spear called the light scale trident. Mifa grew into a bright girl and soon reached the age of receiving lessons from the royal family's Order of Knights. The whole of the royal guard adored her, especially Sergeant Sagan, who loved her as if she were her own kin. Under Sagan's instructions, Mifa honed her skills, and her radiance grew along with her skill with the light scale trident. As a champion, Mifa made her people proud. However, once the great calamity struck, she was never to return. All of Zora's domain fell into misery. The mere thought of the princess was enough to overcome anybody with tears. As a way of offering her soul repose, they tried to send the light scale trident drifting down the Zora River. But when they did, the trident began to glow, and Mifa's voice rang loud and clear for all of Zora's to hear. The light scale trident and I are one. Abandon your grief and know joy once again. Do not cry. Just remember. And so, keeping her request, on the day of the great calamity, the day that Mifa passed from this world, the Zora venerate the light scale trident, and remember the brave princess. Such is the origin of the Champion Festival. And click! Alright, let's go find ourselves another one. I think we've got like 5 or 6 at this point, maybe more. Yeah, I gotta look at my locations, but we'll see them all in a second here. Oh. Man, that is not a kind way to find this. Anyway, this will probably help you find it. This is right about where we are. Pretty close to both Zora's domain and the secret shrine quest, but here we go. Memoir of a Gifted Stonemason. What an honor it was to receive personal requests from King Dorephan to craft a historical stone monument. I do not recognize how much context he'd given me, though. I am certainly exceeding the limits of a single document. I suppose I could have just shortened the text, but it felt wrong to tamper with our king's great words. Thankfully, I was able to split it all between 7 monuments to ensure that every word was preserved. I have always prided myself on my ability to think outside the box. I am so very adaptable, and humble as well. While I was at it, I thought, why not add 2 of my own? And so I created one for King Dorephan and one for Prince Sidon. True, this is outside the scope of my commission, but I believe their charm served as much. But why stop at that? Why, indeed, my achievement surely deserves remembrance too. That is how a commission of 1 of 10 became 10. Of course, having increased the number of monuments, had to find places for them all. That proved difficult. It is worth it, so long as I remember the sign of these monuments. My name will be remembered forever, as it should be. You didn't even put your name on any of this stuff, dude. Blip! Alright, off to find another one. Oh, there's another one. Alright, so right over in this area, in places that kind of pay tribute to various, Majora's Mask characters, Mikau and Lulu, there is another monument over here. Let's see what this one says. History of Zora, Addendum, Prince Sidon's Great Escape. There was once a giant octorok in Hateno Bay, as large as a mountain, which terrified the village's fishers. Hearing of this distress, Prince Sidon went forth and personally eliminated the offending octorok. But this octorok was a tricky beast. After the prince dodged one of the stones it spat, it inhaled him whole. Such had been the fate of many strong warriors who were meant to slay the octorok. Not one had come back alive. Just as it seemed Prince Sidon would have counted among them, the giant octorok twisted in pain. The tip of a silver scale spear pierced the octorok's stomach from within, revealing itself as the source of the beast's agony. Incredibly, Prince Sidon had fought his way out by stabbing his spear over and over into the monster's stomach. Unable to bear the pain, the octorok coughed at the prince and scrambled to escape. Ever since, the fishes of Ateneo Bay have passed down the heroic tale. The prince who slew the fell Octorok. Alright, get a picture of that one. I don't know what taking these pictures is really going to discern in the end, but I'd rather take pictures of something and then delete them later if I don't need them, than for it to be like, well, you obviously didn't go. Go take pictures of it to prove it all to me. I wouldn't put it past a Zelda game, especially if they gave you a camera. Alright, so here's where I am roughly. Basically on the other side of where the Hinox was, but as I was coming up here to find one, I saw this. Where'd he go? Which way did it go, George? Oh, it's leading me. It's leading me to my promised land. But yeah, we have to move quick because it's about to start raining. Over here. You're not going to take me all the way up the mountain, are you? Where'd you go? Okay, over here. I think it's going to take me all the way up the mountain. Where did you go? Oh, you're going to climb around the mountain. Octoroks are fickle. Oh! The weather changed. Where'd you... Well, the weather fickle and changed to all sun. By the way, I never did mention that. In the lower right corner by your vocals, well, by how much noise you're making and all that, and by your weather and shrine locator, is also the forecast. Really? We're doing this? You're seriously going to make me do this? You're going. Good thing I've got energy restoring things. Where'd you go? Oh, you went up. Oh, I might be able to get on a cliff, on a spot where I can catch my breath then. Alright. Well, that wasn't that bad. Thank goodness. Give. Anyway, on the other side of... here... Well, restoring my stamina. Just on the other side of this over here, right about here, I want to say. Probably jump into some conclusion of some kind here. Whoop, hold on. Don't go that far. I'm like right on top of it. Okay, no, I need to be a little more this way. I might cut away again while I'm looking for it. I may have already passed it. Maybe it's underneath. I just thought, well, I thought I went too low. I was going to go too low, but now I guess I haven't. It's trying to rain in other places of Hyrule. Okay. Down there? Yeah, down here. Here's one. History of Zora, Part 3, Miracle of the White Scale as told by King Dorephan. All scholars say that in the distant past, Zora's domain had a king with no special talent for the art of war. What he lacked in skill with a blade, he made up for love of his people, especially for love of his queen. One day, news reached the king of the horde of monsters gathering in the Zobodan Highlands. The king steeled himself from war to protect his people, but the queen knew how ill-suited for the task he was. Word for his life, she wove one of her own scales into his armor, hoping that her love would protect him in battle. It seemed for a time that the tide of battle favored the Zora, and that all would make it home safely. But the cunning Lizaful's general saw an opening and seized it, driving the king's forces into a corner. Just when the general's sword was ready to crash down upon the king, a miracle took place. An errant sunbeam reflected from the scale of his armor that blinded the Lizaful, stopping the death blow from falling. This was the chance the king needed to rally his forces and turn the tide, taking down the general and securing victory. This came to be known as the Miracle of the White Scale, a scale that only female Zora possess. It was this miracle that began the tradition of Zora princesses crafting armor for their future husbands. That explains our Zora scale. And it started to downpour while we were eating. You ever read so long that it just rains? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me take a picture. Okay, let's move on. Though we are very close to finishing this particular side quest, we're actually going to cut it off here because, well, I get distracted next episode. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and you have a great rest of your day. Take care.